Welcome everybody to our new podcast series, The Road to Success. I still work on the title, but the idea is what we're going to talk about, what you will learn in these kind of podcasts is I'm going to interview exceptional people with exceptional journeys. I want to understand how did they make it that far in their life and what was the story that made them who they became. At the end of the day, we all know that success doesn't come without failures, and it's very important to understand the mindset behind success. At the same time, we'll learn a little bit more about Dubai and the Dubai property market. That's a little bit more about my field of expertise. This first podcast will be about my journey. How did I arrive here? What were the reasons? And how am I doing in this beautiful market?
Okay, so obviously, I'm here. You said you want to interview a bunch of successful people. It's not me yet, but we'll get there. But I just got a few questions for you, Jeremy, that's going to help the viewers basically understand you a bit more and get to know you on a personal level, like I did now over the past 3 months. So let's start the first one. It's the Dubai real estate journey. So, brother, what inspired you to leave everything behind and start a new life in Dubai's real estate market? For a backstory, I'll give that. It's like, I know, guys, you flew for Emirates, you come from France, and now you ended up in this location. So tell the guys a bit more, how did you end up selling real estate in Dubai?
I was really not supposed to arrive there. I was supposed to be a teacher in France. Everything was lined up. I had my whole future in front of me and I knew exactly what I wanted. I just realized along the way that my ambitions were bigger than I thought. And also my real purpose was not just to be in a classroom with 40 students that are just not willing to be there for 8 hours a day, full of pressure on a young age. I just realized as well that the educational system in France and in many countries as well in Europe is really not that great. And I didn't want to fight that battle yet. Maybe one day I will come back to that because I really like to educate. I really like to instruct. That's one of my favorite things.
That's the reason for this?
Yes, that's also why we're here today. Many things to learn. And it's what's the best way to learn is to teach. That's what I heard one day. So I was supposed to become a teacher and realized that, it was 2018 when I left university, decided to move in another country. I went to England because everybody speaks English. I couldn't speak a word of English, so I had a lot to catch up. Worked in restaurants, worked in hotels. I had to pay the rent. And these jobs are the most common jobs that you do when you don't really have anything else on your CV. Learned a lot about people as well there. And a good friend of mine left for an airline company. Working in a restaurant or in a hotel, I realized if you can do the same, but you can travel the world at the same time, that's a good idea.
Doesn't sound bad.
I also realized that if I were to travel and to be paid for it, I could learn a lot about people, but about myself as well. So, at this age, most people, not everybody, but most people don't really know who they are. It's very hard because you see a bunch of people on social media or around you that know exactly what they want to do. They're probably already doing their studies or they know exactly where they will end up. And you don't really know who you are at all.
A lot of people are like that, like asking someone 17 years old, still in high school, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? That guy has no idea. He wants to go out and party and he has no idea what he wants to do for the rest of his life. So finding your journey and finding what you need to do in life is not that easy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it's a lot of pressure because at this age, nobody really knows who they are. And they already asked a lot of questions. What do you want to do? What's your future going to look like? So I think traveling is key to understanding who you are. I would advise anybody on earth who don't know what they want to do, they have to travel. The best way to discover about yourself is to travel, to get out of your comfort zone. We can talk a little bit later about getting out of the comfort zone, but one good way is to leave everything behind. It's not for everybody. It's really not for everybody, but to leave everything behind and to just take on the journey. Take a bag and just go somewhere. That's when you're going to discover, okay, I got to do this. And I got to work with these hands and I got to find a way to make it happen.
Exactly.
So that's a little bit about the background. I found myself working for Emirates for 2 years. And funny enough, I really didn't know anything about Dubai before. I arrived in Dubai 3 years ago now. I had no idea what the city was about. I didn't come for the city. Most people now coming to Dubai because of the opportunities. It's well known now what Dubai offers to people. I don't say that 3 years ago it wasn't, but I probably wasn't looking in that direction at all. What I realized is while I was with Emirates, you start to understand, hold on a second, I'm taking off and I'm landing in every country in the world right now, but every time I come back to Dubai, everyone is just talking about so many opportunities, so many great people that they're meeting, and I'm not living that life yet. What's happening here?
I'm flying 24/7, 365.
Man, it's not for everybody. It's a great job at the end of the day. As I said, you get paid to travel and you have a very good standard as well of life. The pay that you receive is way bigger than anything I would have hoped for in France. The average salary in France was 1,500 euros per month. With Emirates, you can go around 4,000 euros a month, which is great.
It's just crazy, huh? And then you see the entire world, meet a lot of new people, so it has a lot of benefits.
Yes.
Not a bad job to do.
Yes, I would never regret anything that I've done, even when I was doing the worst jobs, because you really get to understand who you are as well.
You learn a lot. As long as you learn from what you do, I think it means a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you can, even like you that said now, okay, I worked in hospitality and I worked in the hotels and stuff like that. But still, you took a lot of those lessons home. You don't see it like, oh, I worked in a hotel. You saw it as, I met a bunch of new people. I learned how to meet or how to have conversations with different people from all around. And that's a skill set that you take on in life everywhere. You take it everywhere with you.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibilities. In any of these jobs, you realize that you have to work very hard. You have to always work very hard. Something I can always pride myself of is that I've always worked very hard because I knew nothing would be easy. But at some point I just realized, hold on a second. So what is there in Dubai that could be very interesting to do if I want to live the life that I always dreamt of?
I think here in Dubai, you see it as well. Like you don't know what
Yes.
the dreams are, but you can see like people are living
You
crazy.
smell something.
Yeah, you
You
smell
smell
it.
something after seeing all these. Look, it's not about cars. It's not about the watches. It's not even about just the money. It's the lifestyle that the city offers you. And I've been pretty much everywhere. You never feel that way in any other place. Home is home. It's your roots. But any other place I've visited, I never felt like I felt in Dubai. So by some circumstances, I managed to just get interested into the real estate market. Everybody was talking about it. And in Dubai, we all know everyone is a real estate agent. So I thought, hold on, I don't have any background in finances. I really have no idea what the job is about. Okay, get interested. Read books, talk to people who are already in the industry, go to some conferences, look at listen to some podcasts, do your research, see if that's something that could work for you. Luckily it was. I've studied for a year. The good thing with Emirates is that you have a lot of days off as well. When you're on the layover, you have a lot of time for yourself. So I used that time to study in theory for 1 year. But as we know, theory can only take you that far.
Exactly.
And you have to jump.
Yeah, then you have to make the leap. You can prepare and prepare and prepare, but at the end of the day, you got to go for it.
Yeah, and that's scary. For anybody, when they have to do that leap of faith, it's super scary. That's not an example. That's not something to follow. But I didn't really know how to manage my money before. I wasn't really educated on what's money, how does it work. And I blame myself, but I also blame a little bit the system on not really educating people on what really is money and how does it really work. So it's very important for anybody to understand economy, finances in general. I think it's a very, very good thing to know and to have in your brain.
Just the background.
Yeah, just to have that
Just
background.
basic. It's not you have to be in depth. Just basic how cash flow and everything works and how you need to use the money to work for you.
Absolutely. So, yeah, just to conclude on how did I get there? I met amazing people. I was very, very lucky. I'm super grateful today because I met people, I opened up to them and I said, look, this is the life that I want. What really makes me happy is X, Y, and Z. How can I make it in this industry by staying true to myself and always making sure, that's thanks to my education, thanks mom, but it's always making sure that you will be helping people at the end of the day. When you go to bed, have you helped people? Because that's the only way, in my opinion, that leads to success.
Exactly.
On the long term, you need to know I'm helping people. I'm doing something that's beneficial for them.
That's how you make a business grow as well, because you can snake many people on your way up.
Yeah.
but then you're not going to go very far because word of mouth spreads
Yeah.
like wildfire.
I mean, don't get me wrong. These people make a lot of money. They disappear 2 or 3 years after. And then the
People hate
reputation, the reputation comes back at you.
Exactly.
So that's really something terrible. You need to make sure that you're helping people. That's the main thing. In any job that you're doing in your life, whatever the career path you've chosen, you need to make sure you're helping people. Now, this Dubai real estate market, it's very complex. It's very dynamic. Still today, it's been what? Since early this year, I started in February. I'm still learning. And I think I will still be learning my whole career. We have people in our company, House in House. They've been here 20 years. They still don't know everything.
Exactly. And it's changing the entire time.
Yes.
Dubai is changing like crazy. I think this is probably one of the most complex places to be in any market, because everything that is new, if it gets released, it gets implemented here immediately. New technology comes out, it's in immediately.
Man,
if
we're
you're not going to learn, then what, you're going to get so far behind so quickly.
We're going to have flying taxis.
Very, very soon.
It's Star Wars happening here. Every time you hear about something new, Dubai wants to be first. Dubai wants to have it done first. They want to do it best. They have a plan to be the best city in the world. Whatever their ambition, nobody can come up and say, we want to be number one. They do. So their creed is, we do what we say what we do. So if you really align with that vision, if you embrace it, then you will succeed as well. They really open the doors for people who really want to make it. Now, obviously, I've just started, so I can't even say I'm successful. I am around a lot of successful people. That is what will make me a successful person as well, because I believe you need mentors. This industry, like any industry, if you have someone that can teach you from A to Z, how does that work? Why do you do like this? When to do this, where to do that? It's way better than doing it on your own.
It just rockets your journey so much faster than I have to go sit and make all the mistakes on my own.
Yeah.
I have to figure out everything on my own. Now you got someone saying, listen, don't do this. I did that and this was the outcome. Easy. Okay, it helps so much. A lot of people, there's so many people that like offer business coaching or whatever online, and then people think, oh, what a waste. What a scam. This guy wants my money. But that guy has walked through everything that you wanted to achieve. He's done it. And now he's offering, you got to pay him for his services. Because obviously it's worth money, but people don't realize it. No, I'm not going to do that. But that's going to make your journey 10 years shorter.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. That's
exactly.
true.
That's
any problem that you have, someone had it before.
Exactly.
But you have to be willing to just put the ego aside. Everyone has ego. You have to understand that you will do these mistakes. You will fail many times. The amount of days, the amount of times where I thought to myself, you're terrible at this.
I'm going back to flying.
Oh no, it's terrible. It's not, I've never wanted to go back to what I was doing before. But many times I'm just telling myself, it's kind of the imposter syndrome that most people have, but I'm like, do I really know what I'm talking about? Because it's so complex, it's so dynamic, and everything moves so quickly. And straight away you're thrown into the fire and you have to advise people. And it's a huge responsibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they're putting their hard-earned money on the table and they're saying,
help me.
Help me.
Is this the right decision for me?
Yes.
Exactly.
So if you do that on your own, if you think you can do it after a couple of months on your own, you will fail. But it's not just you that will fail. You're going to put a family in danger. You're gonna cause a lot of trouble for people, even for investors. Money is money. A euro is a euro. A dirham is a dirham. Okay. However rich you are, you don't play with money. So the luck that we have here is we have a huge investment committee. I can walk up to anybody here, sit down with them for an hour if it takes that long, and have them explaining everything to me. Ask questions, be curious, no stupid question. When I was in school, I remember one of the best teachers I ever had, no stupid question. He always said that, there's no stupid question. If you don't understand once, twice, or 3 times, I don't care. Ask. Unless you really don't care, you have to be curious. Because for myself, sometimes it's very hard for me to understand something. And I'm going to need you to explain it to me 5, 6, 7 times.
Before I get it.
Yeah, there's no shame in that. We don't all understand.
A lot of
at the
people
same
struggle
pace.
with that. Like, a lot of people are scared to ask because they think they're going to sound stupid.
Yeah,
And then
that's ego. That's
yes,
ego.
I don't want to sound stupid. No, I'm not going to ask. And then at the end of the day, you are stupid because you still don't know.
That's
Where
going to
could have
cause you a
learned.
lot of problems in the long run if you don't ask when you need something. Like, for example, if I have a conversation with a client today, it happens sometimes that he asks me something I don't have the answer to. I'm not going to pretend that I know just to make a deal happen, but I can make sure.
I can find out.
I'll find out. No problem at all. This is what I can offer you. You're telling me something that I don't understand. Okay, I'll find out.
Give me time. Let me go find it out. Don't let me lie to you.
Exactly.
No.
And that's the easy way. You think I should know that. So when he's asking the question, I could say, yeah, and just forget about it. They're going to find out.
Exactly.
If you're lying, especially in business, if you're lying,
It's gone.
it's gone, it's over for you. Just take a step back. Maybe you're not going to make it happen this time.
Yeah, put the ego aside. Say, okay, wait, I'll figure that out for you. I'm going to be honest, I don't know exactly at this moment, but I'm not scared to go ask. So let me go find out. I have a team full of people that are willing to help.
And you know what? In these situations, you'll never forget it. When you face that situation, when there's something very stressful you have to answer to, you don't know the answer. When you go and get it, you will never forget it.
You immediately, you find it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just circle back. So I said, what got you into the real estate market? So you said you did some research on your own. You met some people that helped you in this market. I'm going to ask you another question now. How has the market been for you? The totally new environment. Like, you're not new to new environments. Like you said, you left for England. You went and worked in hotels and restaurants. And then you went to Emirates, which is a new market as well. And now this new journey, how has this been for you?
I think the main thing for me is it's very stressful. I gotta be honest. It's super stressful. If you think that you cannot handle the pressure, I'm definitely not recommending you to go into real estate and into the Dubai real estate market. What made it work for me is I understood, okay, I don't know anything. I need to learn, so I need to surround myself with the right people. That's such a key in life, to surround yourself with the right people. I don't know who did these kind of quotes before, but I think it was Steve Jobs who was saying that you just need to find someone that's better than you in a field and surround yourself with these kind of people, and you have the best team in the world.
Exactly. Grant Cardone said it as well. He says he has like 3 PhDs, 2 masters, and he has actually no degrees, but everyone works for him that has more information than what he has. So it's perfect. He has everything he needs because he employed people to help him. He has a team. It's not just him, one man. That's how it works.
Yeah, 100%. This market it's relentless. If you're not waking up tomorrow and if you're not going to work tomorrow, you're going to miss on a lot. People are waking up super early. They're working very, very hard.
That actually goes into the next question. It is, Dubai is known for being a competitive market.
Oof.
What were the biggest challenges you faced when starting out in this cutthroat market?
Unofficially, I think there's more than 60,000 agents in Dubai. When you call a client for the first time, when you do cold calling, or it's not really cold calling because they've had an interest with the agency before. But when you call these people, bear in mind, they're receiving 5 to 10 calls a day.
Just because they clicked on an ad.
Just because of that. And unfortunately on this market, we can go back to that later, but many people have just seen the quick money they can make out of this business. So they're just asking things out of clients every time. Clients got very tired of that. So when you try to just make it in a good way, there's many agents that are really amazing. But when you reach out to people for the first time and you don't have a network, that's a really big challenge to, in 5-10 seconds, catching their attention, making sure that they can understand what you're willing to do for them. And that's the hardest point, because they will hang up on your face.
Straight up. Yeah, because you got to show them I have value. I'm not like anyone else. I have value. I'm actually going to help you and take your interest with me. I'm not here to shove products down your throat. That's not
Exactly.
I'm not. That's what
the
you
way.
said. That's what
Yeah.
you said in the start as well. Thank you to your mom. She raised me. I need to help someone.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, in the long run, I'm not here in it for just now. I'm in it for 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. I'm going to be in real estate. So I want to help because that same client, you gave me an example the other day of one guy that bought a property and was so happy. 2 weeks later, he bought two more.
Yeah.
Just because of that, because you helped him and now trust is earned.
Yeah, for me, that's the biggest challenge, is to make people understand that you're reliable and that you will fight any battle for them. Because you can say whatever you want, if you don't deliver, there's no reason for them to be working with you. And it's
Words
fair.
are cheap.
It's fair. You're offering anything that you know, anything that you can do for them. They're not studying the market on an everyday basis. So you basically, if you do that work, you already know better than they do. They don't deal with different clients the whole day. You do. You know exactly what you're talking about after a while when you've really studied the whole market. But imagine that you're competing with people who've been here for 20 years. Now, these people don't do these kind of calls, prospecting calls anymore. But if they do,
how are you going to compare?
How are you gonna be
stay
different?
competitive? Okay.
So I always find that for me, the biggest challenge is to manage to book a meeting, right? To make them understand very quickly what I can do for them. I don't really like to call it. I do it because you have to do it. You have to prospect. If you don't have a network, there's no other way than to just call people and reach out to
It's
them.
like those people that's been here for 20 years, they did it. They already went through that.
Of
It's not
course.
like
Why would you not do it?
That's why they tell you if you go talk to anyone that's been longer in the industry, they're gonna ask you, how many calls did you make? How many emails did you send?
Exactly.
You're gonna say, no, I'm waiting. They're gonna be like, how are you gonna build a relationship or a client base? You gotta message people. You gotta get rejections. That's the only way you're gonna grow. It has to happen. For them now, it's easy. They already did that.
Exactly.
So they got 500 reliable clients that's bought properties over the years, which if something new happens, they can message them. Easy. But starting out, you got to do that on your own. You got to start that.
I mean, you can see it two ways. Maybe that number is not correct, but I think only 20% of the agents survive the first 3 years. I think one of the reasons why most agents don't survive on this market is, first, I think they want quick gains and they realize pretty quickly it's not going to happen. For someone to trust you enough to build a property out of you, we're not buying bread. No, but you know, like sometimes you get to realize, hold on a second, it's probably all of the money that this guy has put aside for many years, and you think it's going to buy out of
Just like that.
out of a phone call. It's not happening. You need to educate the person to make him realize you're trustworthy, to show him what you can do for him as well. It's not easy. These people have already dealt probably with many agents in the past that have promised them the world and they haven't delivered. That's why you can play on as well. It's very good to use that, because when someone doesn't do a good job, then you can show what you can do, what works.
Exactly.
But I would say, yeah, that's the biggest challenge that every newcomer can face, is to realize the race is on. You're already far behind. If you don't have a network, you got to create it, and it's a lot of work.
But that's everything. Everything is work. Yeah. So you got to put in the time. Okay, let's go away from the real estate market a bit. Let's go more into the motivation. So how do you stay motivated? Because I know, because you're my friend and you talk to me and I know what's happening. Like, I know there's setbacks, a lot of setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what you said in the beginning as well. Setbacks happen. How do you stay motivated? Because I think it was yesterday when we said as well, like, it's so easy. No one's looking over your shoulder. If you feel like shit today because something happened and I'm not coming into work for 3 days because I'm just going to stay at home and I'm in my feelings, nobody's going to care. No one's going to phone you and say, Jeremy, what? You're not at the office. What's happening? Nothing's happening with that. So how do you stay motivated even though you know setbacks are happening?
Look, to that question, I'm not even going to say something cheesy because I don't really do all the time what I'm going to say. But I think the best way to stay motivated, two things. First, you need to know what you're doing. Like, what am I doing that for? If there is not really a big reason behind that, I can't really understand how people can just make it happen along the years. It's very hard if you don't have a why.
You
And
need
that
one.
why has to be a pretty big why. You can negotiate everything else day to day, week to week, month to month, but the big why you
gotta see
cannot
that end
negotiate.
goal.
No, you have to remember every time that why. It's not easy. Sometimes you just don't want to think about it. You're like, yeah, it's super far. That's what I want to do. I'll make it anyway. But it's really, really in the moments when you have the biggest setbacks and you think, okay, that's probably too much for me. Oh yeah, hold on. Wait, what was
That's
the
why
reason?
I want to do it.
Okay. And you know what? For me, what makes it happen, what makes me still in the game, and what will make me still in the game, in any game that I'm going to play, is my happiness come when I'm offering to people that I care about the lifestyle that they would dream about, they can't really afford themselves. That's my happiness. If I can go to my parents with a bunch of keys and say, here you go, that's the villa facing the sea that you always dreamt of. You worked your ass off. Sorry for my language. You worked your ass off for such a long time. You can afford that, but I've made sure that I take that weight on my shoulders. I can carry it, and I'll deliver.
Thanks for raising me. There you go.
Exactly. They did their best, and I also want my kids, my future wife, to be very proud of their dad, their husband, and they know the man is a soldier. He's definitely going to make it happen. That's my why. If I know I can deliver the best lifestyle for them, I'm happy. I don't need the cars. I don't need the watches. They're very nice. I don't really understand anything about them, to be fair. They're very nice. I understand some people are passionate about it. Me, it's about securing their future, knowing they won't have to count the money for the groceries like I've seen them do, not having to go on holidays. They cannot even travel the world. They cannot see anything that I've seen at a young age because they're just working so much.
24/7.
24/7. So that's my why. That's how I make sure that in the moments I'm just thinking about myself a bit selfishly, I can quit and no one is really going to care about it. I can just disappear. Sometimes it crosses your mind. I can just disappear, take the money that I've made so far, buy a house on an island and
I'm gone.
Take off. I'm gone.
I'm going to live super cheap somewhere and not care about what really happens.
So yeah, I think it's all about your why. And knowing why you're doing it is going to be the biggest thing. The second is discipline. And that's what I'm struggling with. Discipline outperforms any kind of motivation you can have. Because some days you're going to be super motivated. You wake up, I can take on the whole world, have a bunch of coffees, you're pumped after the gym, you think you're going to make it today. And some other days, you just don't understand why. Everything is black, nothing works, rude people talking to you, you just want to stop everything. And discipline is what the most successful people can't stop talking about. If everything is in autopilot,
you cannot lose, even if it's a terrible day.
The other day, with your brother, when we were running, I'm not a runner. I'm definitely not a runner. And I've started to do it because it's very uncomfortable and I have to do what I preach, yeah? We ran 5 kilometers. That's absolutely nothing for someone who's just already running a little bit.
Yeah, but for someone who hasn't run, it's 5 kilometers.
Well,
it's 30 minutes of constant running.
Man, the thing is, when I was running, at some point I just focused on my legs, on my breath work, on everything. I was overwhelmed. And your brother was like, put everything in autopilot.
Yeah.
Put the legs in autopilot. Follow the rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Exactly.
Just doing that, already the breath work is better. And then you focus on the breathing, and boom, it's already better. So all these automatic modes, if you can apply as much as possible these things in your life, every day, whatever happens, I wake up at 6 a.m.
Boom. Exactly.
It's not an option. You haven't slept much, your problem. Next time, sleep earlier. You wake up at 6 a.m.
Exactly.
I have to go to the gym. It's not negotiable. You have to have some non-negotiables. If you can apply as many as you can, then success is not super far. I'm telling you, success is not super far. It's still very hard for me to be disciplined, but I'm working on it. And I think I'm not ashamed to say that I have a couple of things that I have to work on today, a lot of things that I have to work on. But if you're just willing to understand, okay, this is why I don't have discipline. This is why I'm relying too much on this or on that. Sometimes I don't even understand my behaviors, or I know I have to have the perfect diet, right? You need to be kind of an athlete in this industry as well, or if you just want to perform and you're just going to let yourself go for a couple of weeks, you need to understand that's a non-negotiable.
No, that's terrible.
That's a non-negotiable.
Your image is everything. That sells everything. If you come there and you're fat and overweight and, okay, you don't look proper or You don't care about how you look. You smell terrible. It's like you said, people are investing everything they saved for the last 20 years. I'm not going to put my money in someone who can't even. I want this guy to take care of me and like all of my life savings. I'm not going to give it to someone who can't even take care of himself.
Yeah,
He can't even take
100%.
care of his looks and how
Exactly.
he looks and how he feels. I'm not giving him nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. If people can see that you really take care of yourself, you're disciplined with yourself, meaning when they look at you, even your body is looking great, meaning that you're working on your body. When you talk, you know what you're talking about, you're calm, you're composed, the way you look, how you treat yourself, they'll understand, okay, if he does these things for himself, most probably
He'll do it for me.
he'll do it for me. Now, on the other side, it's true. If someone doesn't take care of them, how is he going to take care of me? How is he going to take care of my portfolio? All my money is what I've worked very hard to take care of my family. I'm not going to trust this guy.
Exactly.
I have no reason to. So this is why, to go back, to circle back, but having a why and being disciplined. Just focus on that and you'll make it happen.
I think a lot of people, they do it also super overwhelming. So they say, okay, I'm going to start, and then they just stack as much as possible. And then after a week of trying it, they say, like, they usually wake up at 8, and they say, no, I'm waking up at 4. This is now the new me. And then they do it for like 1 week, and their body is like, what the hell are you doing? I'm shutting down. I can't. This is not sustainable. But if you just start from 8, okay, I'm waking up at 7. After a month or 2 months, okay, I can, if I wake up a little bit earlier, I can get more done. I'm going to wake up at 6. And then you build that. People don't realize you build that person. It's not just, I'm that person. I'm disciplined. I have all of these building blocks sorted. It takes time.
You know what's the problem? I think the reason why people don't do that, why most people are not disciplined, is because we are growing very impatient. It's not entirely our fault. There's also a big part where the society is making you just go completely crazy. But we're very impatient. And for example, right as of now, no shame to say it, I'm overweight. I used to train a lot and I let myself go for a year or two. So now I'm very overweight, right? I'm working on it. I'm going back on it. But I'm never going to think to myself, okay, I'm 98 kilos. In 2 months, I want to be 80. There's no way. You know why? Because from 80 to 98, it didn't take 2 months.
Yeah, it took me a year to get there. So
Exactly.
it's going to take me time to get rid of it.
Yes, 100%. So
I am exactly the same, because 5 months ago, I prayed to be in the position I am now. And now I'm here, and I want to go to the next. I want to be there. Where's my sports car? Where's my villa on the farm? You see, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, but my brother, he always reminds me, it's like, 5 months ago, you begged to be in this position. Now you want to be out of it. You got to enjoy it, and now you got to work and build and build and build, and that's how it goes. You can't just snap it like that. It takes time.
who said that? Someone said it's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of the pursuit.
Oh yeah.
So you have to make sure you're really enjoying the
You
journey.
gotta love the journey.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's nothing. I'm gonna look back at this one day, still driving a rental car, just got here, like 5 months in, and I'm gonna be like, oh, remember when we said that? The journey was insane. I'm gonna laugh at our villa smoking cigars and be like, shit, we did it. Can you believe it? Those times were epic.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Let's do one more before we take a break. What advice would you give someone considering leaving their comfort zone to pursue a better life? So there's a lot of people I know that they want more, but they are scared. It's like you said, that leap. To take that, they're scared. What advice do you have for people to do that?
I don't want to make it sound cheesy, because I heard all these things from these successful people before, trying to motivate you to do something, and they just say, just do it. Just do it now. It's true. It's not that easy, because we have vices, habits. The comfort zone is a poison. It's such a poison. And before you realize that you're really in a bad situation, it takes a lot of work. Now, for all of those who have big dreams, big ambitions, and they are in this comfort zone, for example, if you find yourself at 25, 26, playing video games the whole day, you're in trouble. It's fun, but you're never going to achieve the dreams that you want to achieve.
You're probably going to do that forever.
Yeah.
You're going to have a shitty life and you're going to do that forever.
I think you have to find out the why.
I think we're going to have to get my brother on this podcast because I'm going to give you another quote he always gives me. He says, the comfort zone is where dreams go to die.
Oof.
He says it a lot. Like, he told me that not once, about 40 times before I came to Dubai. Because it's nipping. Like, oh, Brennan, am I doing this? Am I not doing this? The comfort zone is where dreams go to die.
And it's a tough question. Because the comfort zone, you don't really realize that you're in it. And it's very uncomfortable.
Exactly. You just wake up one that's like you that say, like, I'm overweight now.
Yeah, that's it.
It was super comfortable for a year and a half.
You wake up and you're 98. Oh,
what?
how did that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you wake up, you're 25 and you're broke. I don't have anything about being broke, but
Staying broke.
exactly. When you realize that, okay, I'm in the comfort zone, I think the best step, the first one, seek for help. You can't do anything in this life on your own. No matter what everyone is saying, you cannot do anything on your own. The best people have the best teams. You need a mentor. You need friends that will help you along the way. You need to be willing to be curious as well, to understand what to do in your life. Getting out of the comfort zone is the biggest step you're going to do. It's like you want to build the first $1 million. It's going to be the hardest thing ever. But from the first million to the second, it's an easy step compared to what happened before. So I would still say do it, but find your why.
And then
seek
if
for
it's
help.
big enough, if your why is big enough, you're going to do it.
Well, the why should be
Massive.
the why should be always massive because you only have one life. You
You're
don't want
the
to.
main character. Play this thing. What do you want to do? Sit in the office?
You don't want to wake up one day, be 60, and say, "Oh no, I missed it."
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest. That's
it
hell.
happens
That's
like
the
that.
definition of hell.
Yeah,
If you just wake up and you realize you missed your life, it's terrible,
Yeah.
and no one is trying. No one is
one's gonna-
coming to help you.
No one.
Unfortunately, I wish it was the opposite. That anyone can give you a hand.
Come with me.
It's not happening. You need to show the world that you're willing to really work hard to do something that's going to be great for yourself, for other people. And then is when luck arrives and when you really get to have people helping you. But getting out of this comfort zone is the best thing that will ever happen to you. It's very hard. Man, it's very hard. And even sometimes I get into some comfort zones. For example, if I have a terrible day at work and I've worked very hard, I come home, I don't want a salad.
Yeah, I don't want to say
I want McDonald's. Now I'm going to eat that McDonald's. 5 seconds after eating McDonald's, I'm going to say, never again.
Yeah,
And it's going to be a vicious circle. It's going to repeat again unless you understand. Okay, the problem is you're getting in the comfort zone right now. You want to have some comfort food. Treat it. Understand what's the reason. Go back to the why. And then when it's the bigger picture.
Oh, okay. That. Put it aside.
Now you understand. It's going to ruin my whole day. It's going to ruin.
I work this hard
everything.
now just to go do this. No, it's not worth it.
Imagine. That's why you need to surround yourself with the right people. If all of your friends are playing FIFA the whole day,
You're going to play FIFA.
that's it. There's no need for you to just do something else. You're just happy wherever you are. Now, if everyone around you are driving Lamborghinis, most probably at some point you're going to drive a Lamborghini.
And you're in a rental car. You're not going to stay in that car for very long. You're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
I think
hope
that's
that
a big
answers
thing.
the question.
I think it does. At the end of the day, people need to make that decision on their own. You got to take the leap. You can't be scared. You got to go for it.
Everything is risky, right? Like take the risk because everything is risky. When you were born, it was a risk. When you wake up in the morning, it's a risk. You're going to die at the end of the day. Don't want to be too dark about it, but you're going to die at some point. Everything is a risk. Sometimes my clients, they're asking me, isn't it risky? Of course it's risky. You're investing money on something that is off plan. It's going to be built in 3 to 4 years and no one has the crystal ball to tell you how it's going to turn out. It's a risk. We're trying to mitigate that risk to make sure that it's as safe as possible.
Yeah,
but everything is a risk. So take as
you
many as
getting in the
possible.
car in the morning is a risk.
Of course, you're driving at 130 kilometers next to people who don't know how to drive in Dubai.
Yes.
It's a risk.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you gotta take risks. It's very important. It's the ladder of success.
I think once you're 50, 60 years old, play it safe. But now, young, have ambition, risk it all. I'm putting everything on black.
100%.
I'm going for it. That's it. I'm going for it 100%. I feel a lot of people super scared. Like, not only for taking the leap and going out of the comfort zone, but a lot of people grew up in the hometown where their home is, and I got my friends, same friends. I'm super comfortable there. And now I don't want to go meet new people. But at the end of the day, you take that leap, you meet, some of the people are coming with you. Like I have people that come with me, that's also willing to risk it and go for it. And then you meet so many new people just like that. Before you know it, I meet someone super cool playing basketball randomly in a town in Dubai.
And here we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
4 months
crazy.
later. Just happens so randomly. So I think that's the thing that a lot of people are scared of. Because now, it's like I told you, you can go back home, I can go back home now, and it will be as if nothing changed. I can go to the same places, go get drinks with my mates, and they will all still be there. Doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So why not go and balls to the wall it?
And you know what? Worst case scenario, you fail, right?
You go back.
lose everything. You're going to go again with more knowledge. You will know a little bit more than before.
And then you might fail again.
You're going to do better. And then you're going to fail again.
Then you go again.
You know what's scary for me is when I read about all these very successful people, if we just talk about billionaires, millionaires, whatever, they don't have to make a lot of money to be successful. But even in sport, it's terrifying to see that most successful people, the day before their best day ever, they all thought they were going to quit. It was too much. It's super scary. Some people have lost everything 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and they stand up again.
That's why I like Donald Trump. He was bankrupt like 3 times.
Maybe I'll be censored.
But that's why I like him. He was bankrupt 3 times.
Yeah, you gotta recognize that. You gotta acknowledge that. Even if you don't follow the man or you don't like his ideas, he's one of those people that they've lost everything and they've built it all again. Whatever you can think about the man, I don't share his political ideas or whatever. These kind of people, they can be knocked down, and before the count reaches 10, they stand up again.
And
that's resilience. That's
how
crazy.
they do it.
Such a characteristic for people to be able to do that. Because when everything goes well, you don't really have any pride in making it happen, right? It's when you fail, it's when you're down, you think you're touching rock bottom, and you manage to find the energy to have faith.
I'm going to give you a quote now. So the one guy I really like is Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love him because he looks like a normal guy. He dresses like a normal guy, has a crazy work ethic. Crazy. And he always says, like, how boring would the story be if the knight just walked into the dragon's den, cut off his neck? Easy. That's it. Story done. That's nothing. I mean, that guy just walked in there, boom. Slay the dragon. No, but if that guy has to crawl and walk and he loses an arm and then still gets there and slays that dragon, that's going to make a whole cooler story.
Now we're talking.
That's something different.
Yeah.
And people should realize it's also something he said. Just whoever's watching, just start looking at successful people's podcasts because you're going to learn so much.
Yes.
So he said, in the beginning, it's the hardest because it's a lot easier to slay a dragon when you got an atomic weapon and 3 countries backing you. But now in the beginning, it is you with a stick and a
the
bear.
wooden stick. Yeah.
And that is like the coolest quote I've ever heard because that's how it is. Before you know it, you meet people and then you're like, oh, Ruben, I got something. We can help each other here. Or where in the beginning I got you and I was like, okay, I have this idea and I want to do this. I've got to go meet people. I know no one. Same for you in the real estate. You got you and you're like, sure, new industry. I've got to do something here. And then you go, and along the way, it gets easier. It gets easier. You got people to help you. You struggle with investments. Now I've learned a lot more about investments. I know I can go to this guy because he can help me with that.
No,
And that's-
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So it's just the initial step. Take it.
Well, for this first podcast, Ruben, thank you very much for being here today. It was a very big pleasure to have you here. And guys, stay tuned for more content. It's just the beginning. We're going to have a long journey ahead of us, and we'll be more than happy to have you with us along the way.